We go.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Can we keep the rhythm section, and then we have the other two guitarists up. But okay, Richard, your feedback about Lee.
Yeah, Lee.
We're running out of time, so if you can keep it really.
It was great. And actually, you're quite a musical player. Actually, everything you did sounded really good. Actually, lots of confidence, no communication. Something you have to work on. I would, yeah. No, it was quite. But although you played really well then, actually, and I didn't think I was actually going to say you didn't look nervous at all. I mean, obviously, yeah, it was good though. Actually, I thought the one thing I would say on the guitar side is just be careful when you do your little embellishments in the middle that you make sure you pitch your bends right. Your bends were a little bit out of tune.
Right, okay.
I think you were playing like the major pentatonic scale, and you were bending up what, fret 4 to fret 5 or something.
This one,
so
yeah.
When you know, right at the beginning, you were doing something down here, and it sounded like you were bending, and it was bending to the minor third over a major chord, and that clash was just a bit like chords, and sometimes you didn't quite make it. So that was just an example, but that happened throughout a little bit. So just your pitching, just a little bit of practice on making sure you reach the right pitch is the key thing. Otherwise, it was good. Yeah, communication wasn't so great, but musicality I thought was great, and your accuracy overall in taking out all the bits that you'd embellished was actually quite good as well. Probably not good enough to have to be a merit, but definitely a strong pass in terms of accuracy of that.
Okay, cool. And Tom, over here, do you want to, Darren, some feedback about Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I was sort of trying to listen to it generally. We've got the specialist here, so if I can say a sort of real general thing, which is I'm always listening to that that second 12 bar when you got that really tightness of rhythm, where nobody's actually playing a solo. And I find it one of the nicest bits to listen to actually in the whole thing. And you all were really tight. The engine was ticking over really nicely in that middle section. You don't hear any solos, we're hearing the engine. And I felt you really played tightly together. Generally, again, really nice playing, keeping it really simple, keeping your tempo nice and relaxed, but really sharp. So generally, really good. And the tempo that you started, I felt, unless I was right, I mean, very, very even tempo all the way through. So really good as a package.
Cool. And grades for that one, would you say, Richard? For Tom?
For Tom, I mean, yeah, you were definitely playing a rhythm guitar part, weren't you? I mean, I did think...
I was looking at him. I wasn't sure when to come in for the
was
solo.
alright, it was good. In fact, the intro bit was quite tight as well. You both managed to nail the rhythm of the two guitar parts quite well. You both started and finished at the end time, which is cool. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would say minus the solo, which is, you know, part of what we were grading. Overall, you know, passes throughout. You know, if you were just given a bit more space or took a bit more space to play, then it would be a bit more. But passes throughout, I think. Communication again was just a bit before.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Rob. About Chris.
Chris, okay.
Taylor.
Yeah,
Chris
the
Taylor.
communication, shooting through these, I thought there wasn't any particularly, but then it felt like, in a way, that there should have been, but it felt like Darren said, it's all working, you all seem to sort of know where it was going to go. So it was like a quiet confidence in a way. But as an exercise, in a form of practice, I think it's good to always be aware.
Yeah.
Just look at your buddies on stage, really. The style, yeah, you've got a basic understanding of that style. You're playing fills halfway through bars at times, which is quite a modern thing. No, I mean, I'm used to it. We're used to hearing that now.
Yeah.
But of course, back then it was after every 4, every 8.
Yeah.
Which again, if I was an engineer or producer working on this, I'd say, hang on, can we just do that again and just give it me on the 4th or the 8th bar. So it seems quite a small thing, but it's not if you're playing something in a style. But your basic understanding was very good. You know, and again, your dynamics were good, and your snare projection, everything sounded nice. You went to the ride. All the guys have done actually. The performance have been there. So for actually of arrangement, I think very, very good. Merit, you know. I just think musicality, you could have just a little bit more drive. Now, when I say drive, I don't mean speed up, and I don't mean get louder, but just a bit more insistent. I mean, it's quite nice having it relaxed, but this style, again, needs to be a little bit edgy.
Yeah.
And we see clips of these people playing on TV, miming, and they're very pleasant. But if you see a lot of these clips of the Beatles and those bands back in the day, they were playing really hard.
Yeah.
You know, and their amps are turned up, and they're live, they really did go for it. When they're miming, they were just pretty, it was like punk sensibility, you know, and even those 50s guys were the same. And so sometimes I think just picking up the different sections, which I've said to all the drums, would be nice. So it picks up a bit and gets a bit edgier. There seems to be an edge lacking, as if you almost didn't believe in how you were playing it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think there'd have to be a pass on that.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean by that?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just edgy, vibey would be,
Yeah, I know what
you know, when that that bit when you're on floor tom, just giving that a bit more, and then cutting down to those stops.
Yeah.
Would be nice. But yeah.
Confident tempo though. I think it was sort of like.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah.
It was. I felt like if I was playing along with it, I'd feel quite confident and sort of relaxed because I felt, you know, you could feel the tempo was really good.
Exactly. That's one of the
start,
things. Whenever I go
so.
see a drummer play, no matter who it is, if it's in a bar or club situation, if I have to stop my conversation to look over to what's going on, I think the person isn't doing their job. In other words, they're making me agitated because I'm thinking, oh. But if I was listening to that somewhere, I'd be more than happy, you know, and think this is great. It wouldn't be read from me. It'd just be like, this guy's up there doing the job, and this feels great. You know.
Cool. Right, brilliant. Thank you. And over to Duncan for bass on Connor.
Overall pass, no problem. Communication was a bit. Two guitarists was confusing you, wasn't it?
Yeah. I over there, and I thought, hang on.
There's one there as well. Yeah. A little bit sloppy on the brakes.
Yeah.
Did you think there were 2 bass breaks in a row?
I started going to that one.
Yeah. You'll get dirty looks from drummers if you play over their brakes. That's
Yeah.
oh, they'll get you back at the end. They will.
All right.
But yeah, basically fine.
Great. Thank you very much. Well done, guys. Just 2 more guitarists. I'm just